Welcome to Boca Soul, featuring Calypso. Brought to you by the Calypso Shah Spiritual Center in Boca Raton. Specializing in past lives readings, astrology, plus energy healing, event planning, and more. Calypso Spiritual Center, where you discover the beauty of your soul. Call 561-808-9180 to make your appointment.
Do you feel like your love life is a broken record? I believe the issues lovers have in relationships are the result of past life experiences. Together we will journey into your past to bring the power of love and trust back into your present. Join me for a past life reading and discover the healing power within you. Unlock the secrets of your soul at the Calypso Shah Spiritual Center. Call us to book an appointment today at 561-808-9108.
Emotional hoarding is a serious issue. Your body, mind, and soul need to be cleared from previous traumas in order to make room for happiness. If you are feeling lost, stuck, or confused, you could be experiencing a past life blockage that must be cleared. Calypso's intuitive abilities as a medium releases all baggage stemming from your past. Don't let another day hold you from happiness. Why haven't you called yet? Call today. 561-808-9108. Life contains all the natural elements of earth, wind, light, water, combined with the inner soul we all have. By bringing light to your past lives, you can improve and enhance your present and future. Introducing Calypso Shah, a spiritual healer who will help you overcome personal fears, addictions, and blockages by discovering the cause of them from past life traumatic events.
I am here to help you to find the origin of your problems from past lifetime that are affecting this lifetime.
Good afternoon. You are tuning in to the Boca Soul Radio Show. Hear us on the radio every Sunday at 1 p.m. at 1470 a.m., the Health and Wealth local station. Our show is all about spirituality, holistic wellness, and past lifetimes philosophy. Our phone line is always open so our audience can participate in our show. Calypso Soul Shah Spiritual Center telephone is 561-808-9108. And now, here's Calypso Shah.
Hi. Hello, it's me, Calypso Shah. I am talking today from my center, and I have a guest with me. Her name is Shen Platkin, right?
Yes.
And I just met her this week, and I think I know her forever already. Feel like we know forever. And she's going to tell us a little bit about herself. She's a local author and director of Leumi Israel.
I am.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Calypso. I'm so happy to be here.
Me too.
The moment I walked in this center 2 days ago, I feel already like I'm transforming into more authentically myself. So I'm a writer, and I just published my first book, Self-Centered, and it is a story about a young woman finding her way in the world. But what is unique about it is it has journaling components in it, so you can also find your own journey through what she's going through. It helps to kind of remember your past and who you come from, your identity, to help find out what your purpose is. So the book is really a tool for young women, and I really feel that it will help them make better choices in their life when they're able to write down and think about who they are and who they come from. So that's why I felt like we were such a great match together.
Yeah, and the funny thing, I start reading it. I'm not such a fast reader, but I start reading it, and immediately I saw, like, I read one part, and then I see that there is a page for me to fill.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting, because then immediately I start thinking about myself, because usually you read a book and just you read it, but here and there you stop and like, oh, what about me? So you think more about it, and I just start reading it, but it's really interesting.
Thank you.
I love it already.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. Well, I love what you just said, because oftentimes we read a book that we really connect to the character, and we think, I could do that. You know, I could climb a mountain like she did, or, you know, swim the Atlantic like she did. But then when we get to write about really what we've accomplished or who we've come from, we empower ourselves. And it's so important to do that. And I always go back, and we talked earlier about young adults and teenagers. and at that time in their lives to, number one, to read, which is important because I'm a mom of a teenager. Number two, to write is just so valuable because at that point they're investing in their lives, in their journey. And when we can look back and we're making a choice, we can think, well, what did I do? I'm going to look back now, or I'm going to think, what did my mother do? What did my grandmother do? Can I get through this? And I think that's what writing and reflection help us to do. So that was, bringing us back to that past point in our lives.
Right, and what we were talking, and you were telling me that you bring people, young people, to their past, means in this lifetime, all the way as far that they can, and even to their ancestors. And I say, and I take people back to their past, but even further into past lifetime. And I think like it felt like we complement each
Very
other.
much.
It's like almost like we are doing the same job and we complement each other. And we start talking how does it help the people to know about the past? So you tell me, what do you think about it?
When I think about, and I only get to that point when we talked about the grandparents, let's say, and the immigration story, the story of their grandmother or grandfather coming to this country, leaving everything they knew. My goal for that young reader is to really explore what they're capable of through the journey of their legacy. And so when you shared with me, well, the legacy doesn't end there,
Doesn't.
It was really an amazing realization. And I would love to explore that more with people, because if you can even build upon the 3-4 generations and go even beyond that for yourself, you really can find out who you are.
Right. So one thing that I found out through the years, the women and the side of my mother, all the women, all the way back to Russia to my great-grandmother, they all were sick women, sick and poor, and not very happy in their lives. So it goes one generation after another, and now I have it all in my DNA, and my memories, and the DNAs carry the memories as well, whatever they told me. And I feel that I need to really push myself into completely something new. I can be part of all this legacy. I could be another poor, sick woman, or I can leap and change it. And it's very hard. It sounds maybe funny, but it's hard because you have all this generation behind you that you want to relate to them, but if you will be different, maybe you can't relate to them anymore. So this is just going in this lifetime.
Right.
Think about it, and we talk about different examples in past lifetime. So I have this memory from when I was teenager, when I saw this airplane in my dreams over and over. This airplane, from the Second World War, going like down and shooting at me, and I'm like, I thought, I'm dead, I'm going to die. It was a dream. And then I remember my mother told me that when I was baby and I was living in a kibbutz in the desert of Israel, the airplanes of the army were like going, doing their exercise there, training.
Yeah.
They got to a point and they had to call them and try to ask them to move their planes away because I was screaming my head off, and I'm a quiet person. And then, like when I started understanding about past lifetime, I understood that I was in a war in past lifetime. And I am still living it in this lifetime in a certain way. So these are the things that we kept talking, about. You carry with you so many lives that you had before. And then what I say to you, that what you're doing is so right, because the beginning of our life is usually indication of what happened in the past.
Okay.
Right.
When we're babies, we're closer to that.
Not only that, you come to the world, to a situation that will wake up things that you need to wake up and study and learn and understand. So, for example, if you had a lot of victim lifetimes, and you want to work on it, you need to be victim again to relieve it, so you can work on it. That's the only way to work on it. So God forbid if I have now cancer in my body. If it will not hurt me, if it will not affect me, how do I know? The two type of cancer that kill people most are the
Prostate, right?
prostate and the lungs. That no, not prostate. It was the pancreas.
Oh.
So there are two that you don't really feel until it's really too late. So this is good example. So if you want to leave something, if you want to fix something, you need to leave it. So when you teach all these young people, and they feel like, why I deserve it, it's actually it's not question of deserving. You're leaving something that you need to learn from. Makes sense?
It makes sense. It's just a hard lesson to realize and to think about. You know, you say sometimes to yourself, why did this happen to me? And that's probably not the best question. It really should be, you know, what do I need to learn from this experience? And that's when you realize that there's more going on than you see right there, you know. And that's what awareness is, and that's what learning new things is about. That way we're able to be more, you know, conscious of what's happening to us and proactively better it. You know, otherwise we, like you said, repeat the same victimization or whatever it is that weakens our spirit over and over again. You know, and I think that, you know, soulful learning and being in touch with yourself is a vehicle to lead you in that right purposeful path.
So explain to us, what does it mean? Soulful
education.
Education. Yeah.
So basically when I teach, I use anything from literature to Bible sources, textual readings, and I allow for, it's very interactive, and it's more of that I'm a facilitator. So we'll sit around a book or a text of sorts, the Parsha, the weekly Torah portion. We'll read through it, and I'll say right after, you know, just underline something that you connect to today, something that you feel a connection to. It could be a word or a phrase, and now everyone has made it a unique experience. We may have learned the same text, but everyone's taking something different.
You're right.
And with that connection, I teach them how to meditate on it and reflect on it, and then they journal about why did they connect to that source today. And the goal is that they would leave not only feeling accomplished, that they went through something intellectually stimulating, but something emotional and spiritual happened as well, to give them something positive. So anytime I teach soulful workshops, this is the goal that I have with them, you know.
And it's amazing, because I say whenever I take the Bible, and I like to do a lot of things with the Bible, and in all my shows before, I always try to bring a portion of the Bible with my explanation. And I found out that whenever you look into the Bible, and if you don't close your eyes, you see something that you didn't see before. You see something that nobody else saw before. It's very unique.
I agree. I mean, we often read the weekly Torah portion in synagogue or with our classes when I'm teaching, and you always find something new. Even the story of creation, you know, we go through it so often, has so many amazing images and involvements, and sometimes it's too much for somebody to take in and take a lesson away with. So it's better to break it down into smaller pieces and come up with questions that you relate to. And that's part of that kind of really soulful learning of something that you want a benefit from.
Right, and I think it's part of what we just say, that when you come to the world, you come to learn something. Nothing that happened in your life is just by chance, you know. It's all worked out very carefully, basically to give you the right lesson, the right teaching, the right experience, so you can evolve and grow, right? So there's no waste, and we talked about it just lately, about well, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of day. There's no waste, because everything is part of it. If you go to a class and you need to learn whatever it is that you want to learn. Every detail in the book and in the class and what the teacher is saying is part of something that will build up the whole picture of what you need to know, right? You want to be doctor, and they teach there how to do the operation, and you say, well, I don't think this is a waste of time. You need to go and do the operation. And I'm like, where's the liver? Where's the kidney? I don't know. Just joking. But I want, and we talked about, we are both are very fan of kids and women and want to improve and empower them and help them. And I feel that kids need to know more about spirituality. They need to understand more about themselves. What you're doing is excellent because it teaches them to look inside and find something unique about themselves.
If I can share also, I am a mother of 7.
Yay.
So yes,
I love the
I
number
do.
7.
To get a little personal, I do love children. It's a great number, 7 also. 7 is, menucha, the Shabbat.
The rest.
Yeah, I don't rest, but that's what it means.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. I don't rest. So I have 4 boys and 3 little girls.
Yeah.
And for years I was going to baseball, basketball, flag football, taking the girls with me, and they kept saying, Ima, can we have ballet? Can we have gymnastics? Can we, have dance class? And I said, we'll get to it, you're little. So finally, yesterday, they had their first ballet class.
Yay.
And I was really, we were, and again, this is about somebody, I'm a feminist. I mean, it's about women, empowerment, girls, their voices in the world, how they can love themselves from the moment that they're born so that others will love them and value them. So I feel like it was a really wonderful step for me to, yes, I dressed them up in their tutus, and when I was about to take them to class, my 4-year-old said, ballerinas wear makeup, Ima. So we went over and we put on very dark lipstick and dark eyeshadow and hairs and buns, and they twirled out of the house, and I loved seeing their spirits so excited, and they were just so filled with purpose to do that at any age. We can give them such confidence by the choices we make for them, by the experiences we give them. And I was my boys were excited for them because they haven't had a chance to really express themselves in that way yet. And I think it's the beginning of something very important for their building confidence and values and becoming well-rounded people,
Right. Well, I actually can relate to it because when I was a child, I always wanted to be a ballerina and all that and be the princess. I never could because in the kibbutz was like other...
Not a princess on a kibbutz.
No, the queen of the group was always that one, and I was always something else. But it's okay. But I feel that today, as a mother, I'm saying to all the mothers, if your boy wants to be ballerina, it's okay. If your ballerina wants to be a tractor driver, it's okay. And I explain why. I believe that the spirit go and change between male and female in different times. Sometimes this one spirit is more male experience, and sometimes a female. But today, I believe that most people spirits are in the opposite body. So most women today are more male spirits and vice versa. And the universe, God, made it purposely because for years men hate women or didn't respect women. Women hate men. It was all this kind of like fraction. And today we want to start putting them together because we're coming close to the Messiah, to Mashiach time, when for me Mashiach, and I explore it in my way, is self-learning and self-going in and becoming the pure spirit that you are. It's not old men riding a donkey. I don't know. I think, no. But so we have the option now to learn how to be in a body for woman and be a more masculine, vice versa, and it's learning to be a whole and to respect each side, right? So this is very important. So what you did, it was in this case your daughters wanted to be feminine, which is good, but I had nephew, and so my sister-in-law, she asked, well, he wants to put nail polish. He wants to put my dresses. Go ahead, let them. Let them experience it. And in the end, everybody goes with their inclination and what they really want. But you need to let your kids explore. And we were talking about imagination and intuition.
Yes.
We just talked about it before.
Right.
And this is something that we both really into it because you're very in lot into meditation and into dreams, explaining dreams.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, wonderful. I mean, there's definitely a message within our dreams. And when we're children, we may not be able to express it so articulately, but we know when we've woken up and we're either scared or we run to our parents' bedroom because we've had a nightmare. And there's definitely something that transfers from the dream state to the conscious state. And when we wake up in the morning, we are changed in some way. It may feel like a moment that we've changed, but if we get a little more deeply interested and in tune with it, we can use that to catapult us, to move us toward a purpose. And I remember, reoccurring dreams. One of my kids was having a reoccurring dream, and it was it was both scary at first. It was like with lions and real animals, but then at the end, he said he felt like they were protecting him.
Wow.
So he kept having this dream. And, again, children and their imaginations, and they watch I guess he was watching Lion King at the time,
Well,
but
that's
possible.
A little bit.
But I didn't want to stop there. I said to him, that sounds amazing. Lions are the king of the jungle. I said, that's a very powerful dream. And they weren't fighting you, they were protecting you. Right. So you are a very powerful soul. You have so much to offer. And it was a great dream. Don't be afraid of it. Welcome it. When you go to sleep tonight, say, please, lions, come back. He was like 7, 8 years old, and he did that for a while, and he felt great about himself. And it's like we say, go into the day like a roar of a lion. It's a Tehillim.
Oh, yeah.
In our Psalms. And King David was like a lion, and this is a very powerful image for empowering ourselves. And I know, this idea of the perfect world when the Messiah, when Mashiach comes, and really what you said is so important to realize, that we are the ones that are going to bring that about by the wholeness and by the feeling we have inside. So we have to continue to work on ourselves if we want the externals, the world around us, to be healthy.
Exactly.
So.
Well, the dream they have all kinds of dreams. I can explain dreams for people, but mostly it's many times you can explain it to yourself. So there are dreams that it's like residue from the day before, what happened, around this time. And their dreams, they're like future, like you can see the future. Some people can see through, what I do, just talking with people, they can do through dreams. They can tell you future, they can say something will happen. And many of them are just your subconscious telling you something. So it's a lot of symbolism. And the symbolism, it's funny because so many things that you consider like bad are not bad. Like if you see snake, you think horrible. Snake actually is prosperity and protection. So like when you feel attacked sometime, you think it's attack, but it's not. It's not exactly the same. For many years, I used to write my dreams. Actually, I was starting to put my dreams in there to see if there is a correlation. There is a dream that appear in the same time, and then I got distracted. But when you talked about the dreams, and I know that you acknowledge dreams, and you told me that you need to write it, so you remind me, and I start doing it now. The more you write your dreams, the more dreams will happen. It's like you acknowledge them, so they come more and more and more. And more you dream and you pay attention to your dream, you understand more about your subconscious. But kids dream much more because kids are much more connected to themselves and to their intuition and to their imagination, right? Like if I have a dream now, it's like too serious, like, oh my God, it's something not like serious, but kids can see anything. My son, when he's telling me about his dreams, it's a complex of things. He's 19 already, but he's always has this like half hour he's telling me, and it's like half-hour dream. Can you imagine, with all the details?
And he remembers everything.
He remembers everything. So again, I want to go to this place of saying, like, first, when kids are telling you about their dreams, acknowledge them and work with them and try to explain to them, even write them down when they're little. Because when they will grow up, they will it will help them to understand more about themselves.
Yeah, you're right. Very true. The more we can reconnect to our childhood,
Yeah.
to things we enjoyed as children, it helps us to be, more interesting as an adult. Adults, we think, that was when I was a kid. I loved roller coasters when I was a kid, or I used to love the waterfalls when I was a kid. I don't do that anymore.
Right.
And you need to do that. It was a part of who, what made you so vibrant, so alive. And we don't want to leave behind all of those feelings, because we push them down.
Well, not only that, remember we said that as when you're a child, you remember even past lifetime.
That's
Remember
right.
I told you that? So I have a few stories about it. One of them is actually a person I know very well, and I start working with her father, and she came to me and she said, I need to go and take care of my 11 years old sister. She's very sick. And I'm like looking at this little pizzcale, 4.5 years old. I'm like, which sister? I didn't know yet that she has no sisters. I didn't know much. So I went to her father. I say, she has sisters or siblings, I said, no, she's the oldest. So it took me a while. I already knew about past lifetime and I started understanding it, but it took me a while, and she kept saying it and saying it. And then one day I called her and I said, you know what? It wasn't past lifetime, your sister, but it's over. You don't have to worry about it anymore. And I didn't know what she's going to do, because it was the first time I did it. And she said, okay, never talk about it again. And this gave me very clear understanding about kids. If you tell them something that is true, it makes sense to them, it will relax them. Now, it wasn't like I said, don't talk about it ever again, or it's nonsense, you don't have sister.
Right.
I was just like trying to, I explained it to her. She doesn't remember it now, but she relaxed. She didn't wear anymore. I had my hairstylist a few months ago. So I started talking about what I'm doing, and she said that when she was 2 years old, she went to her mom. She said, do you remember that I washed you in the sink of the kitchen? And this is actually what her her grandmother used to do to her mother. So it was very clear that this little baby was a reincarnation of the mother that passed.
Oh.
So this is reincarnation and into family, which is another topic that we talk all the time. But if you let kids talk, and I hear many people, and when the moment that they told you, start thinking, what my kids say that could be, right?
Yeah, sure.
And maybe you remember, maybe not, but kids will talk about past lifetime like it happened yesterday. But most people will say, it's all their imagination, children imagination, forget about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And then the kids will think, oh, maybe it's imagination. Everybody's just saying it's like, stop with it, nonsense. So they will stop. Sometimes they still carry it with themselves. Sometimes they will forget. And it's not very good for them, because they should remember it. It will help them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. I think that, and again, when they're so open as children, you can really instill in them this validation and this love of their own imagination, that they shouldn't pretend it's not there, that they shouldn't hide it. They should allow themselves that joy and freedom. As we get older, we get so inhibited and we just block things off, and that's why we probably forget those subconscious channels are closing, because we're not saying we don't want you to close. We want to stay open, and that's what I think most of us go through. And learning and exploring new ideas is a great way to reopen our imagination.
Right.
Having new experiences, meeting new people. These are ways for us as adults to re-welcome that into our lives.
Right. Well, the other thing that I keep saying to people, I think I say it all the time, is that creativity and spirit. The spirit is creativity. So if you don't, you leave all the creativity, all the fun behind you. Oh, well, when I was a child, and I talk with so many, especially women, say, oh, when I was young, I was doing this and that. Now I'm working. And I say, you need to make time. You need to make time. It doesn't matter what, because you know what? You always can make time. It doesn't matter if you set your mind. And this is something that my ex-mother-in-law said to the family. So they had factory in Uruguay. for to clothing, and they, factory, it's your own business, you're slave, you're basically there all the time.
Right.
And they were like, always working, but they always find time to do some fun stuff, going away or whatever. And then she retired, and she started being even more busy doing her stuff. She said, I don't know how I did it before. You know what I mean? So it's like the mentality. She's 80 plus years old. It's vibrant person that do things. And the thing about it that you can always add something if you have it in mind. And I'm saying over and over because the creativity, creating things and having imagination, and each one or person has its own way. So you are a writer. So you're doing it through writing. I do things. I do my jewelry, I create things, I crochet. I write things too, but not like you. I'm not getting there yet, but I every day, my relaxing is to do something. I'm thinking something that I like doing. So it helped my spirit to be okay.
It's true. When I work with kids and they have an artist come, or we have a friend who does drumming, and these are just new vehicles for them to express themselves. And you'll see a child will be very quiet on the drum, and that's a shy child. That's somebody that is not ready to come out of their shell. But more that they do it, you see they change, and the tune changes, and the loudness changes, just like the art. A child that chooses light colors, they're afraid to show who they are. But as you work with them more often, the colors become vibrant, the pictures become larger, and their personality changes. It's transforming. And this allows for their mind to be open more. They're more imaginative. And imagination is one of the traits that we have, the potential we have in us to really connect to our purpose. It first gives us those dreams when we're kids of what we want to be,
Right.
And so we have them. They may change from, circus when you're a kid that you want to be in the circus to something else, but
To be a surgeon.
right, to be a surgeon. but these dreams, these imaginations are what started us on our journey to
Exactly.
finding out who we are.
And they keep us, that's the thing. The imagination and the dreams, we have to keep them forever.
Yes.
If you are 99 years old and tomorrow is your last day, you still have imagination. You still have to keep your child, like your inner child, happy and joyful.
I spoke with a woman yesterday. She's 92.
Yes.
And I am going to be speaking for her Hadassah group next month
Nice.
on how important writing our memoirs are for our future, our children and grandchildren. And she said, oh, I have such a story. She said, she's 92. She said, I was married to Cal Abrams, one of the first Jewish Major League Baseball players
Wow.
ever.
Wow.
He had a lifelong career as a baseball player. And I was speaking with her about some of her experiences. All of a sudden, age didn't matter. She wasn't 92. She was telling me that and he passed away. It was as if she was telling me today. He was on the Brooklyn Dodgers, and we were heading to our game. She all of a sudden had this new energy when she was talking, and she could have been 30. It didn't matter. She was
Doesn't
92. She all of a sudden became that youthful energy again. And it's just when you can offer that to somebody, when you can be a part of that for them, I believe that's part of bringing Mashiach also. When you're bringing that goodness and that light into the world.
Well, Mashiach is actually the time when we believe that we'll not get old, will not die. Things will be different. I don't want to go there right now, but what I'm saying that you're always young inside you.
Yes, yes.
There is an inner child inside you forever, and people that do therapy and work with all these things know you have your inner child, and the inner child can stop you, and the inner child can push you. And if you keep yourself useful and happy and with imagination and always see life as a new thing, because most kids get up in the morning, they don't think, oh, I need to get up again. They let's do what to do now.
Sure.
Maybe in the end of the day, like, oh, Mom, I couldn't eat my ice cream today, praying.
Right.
But they're useful. This is how we have to do. Because our spirit has no time. We're not old. And I was talking with Dorit, what we're going to do together, the Hebrew one. And she asked how the spirit goes into a child And I'm like, the spirit is not a child. So when you deal with a baby, the spirit inside this baby is in a baby body,
Yes.
but it's eternal spirit, young and old as well, because it's as old as eternity, but it's still useful and, you know, according to,
Right.
unless you've had a lot of baggage that they carry from past lifetimes. But we want to see the whole story about time, about imagination, and about being happy, not connected to age. But
What does that mean when you hear somebody say, "Oh, you're an old soul," or "You're a young soul"? What does that mean?
well, many people speak about it. I believe that most souls today on this planet are souls that were like souls that were reincarnated on this planet for many times, but there are souls that were not born yesterday. So let's say that in the world of the spirits, they're born every year. Spirits born, so there will be souls that they just started. So they will be completely powerful, useful, happy. I don't see in this planet somebody that is like this.
Why?
So-
What would the world look like if it was filled with these youthful, energetic, pure souls?
People will be flying.
You're saying that the older the soul, the more it's experienced, maybe the pains that it's been through, they weigh on the soul, and in each lifetime. So that's why sometimes we have such pain in the world.
Well, it's wisdom. It's a thing of knowledge and wisdom that we carry, but and we still talk specifically about reincarnation in this planet. Because the spirit was and is and will be in other planets, in other dimension, other, you know, the spirit can be anywhere. But let's say talk just about this planet. So if you reincarnate on this planet 20 times, 200 times, whatever times that you reincarnate, you start accumulating things. And this is the part that I'm coming with the past lifetime healing, that you carry a lot of things. So think about me. I'm 60 years old. All the days that I had on this planet here, all the lives that I lived, all the experience that I had day after day, sadness, happiness, kids were born, people that died that I knew, it's all coming with me. I'm 60, I have all this experience, all the things. Some of them are pulling me down. Some of them are making me very sad or unhappy person or not be able to do my stuff. Some are pushing me and making me happy. The sum of all these times that you lived as a spirit and what happened to you and what you took from it make you, this is what people call old, I would say. I didn't see, I talk with many people, I didn't see young spirit. I see people that are old and have young spirit, meaning their attitude is young, but they have all this knowledge. And I have one of my clients that he gave me permission to talk. I'm not going to give his name, but he's a Holocaust survivor. He's 81, I think, 80 something. 81, yeah. And I saw that he was the Inquisition. So this is something that we want to understand. So he was an Inquisition hurting Jewish people. Then he came to one of the worst, because Inquisition was one of the worst time for Jewish people at that time, and then the Holocaust was another horrible time. And he came to experience it one way here, one way there. And now I felt so honored that he came to me as a client and he came to ask for my help. But I told him, look, it's all now together. You did it this way, I did it that way. Now what are you going to take? Not hate, not anger, not frustration, but a lesson. And he's a writer too, so you write things. I'm saying you write things, you educate people around with what you know. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the question of living so many lives before was, for the spirit, it was the day before.
Right.
You know, spirit is eternity. So in a way, it's like, oh, all the days that I lived in this lifetime is the spirit thing. But think about it, that you go live your life till age 20 and then you forget. You had trauma. You can't remember a word. Anything that you did before, nothing.
Okay.
What happened now? Now you start doing things with internal memory. So if you, let's say when you were a child, you burn yourself and you were very nervous about fire, so now you don't even remember this. You remember till age 20 and you're very careful about fire, but now your instinct is coming out. Somebody will put fire and you will do this.
Yeah.
This is what happened to us when we reincarnate. We remember what happened in the past. And
We don't remember the specifics.
We don't remember, but we have the feeling memory, the feeling memory.
Well, I know that when I grew up with my grandmother, my bubby, living with me, and I was very close with her, and I'm named for her sister who was killed in the Holocaust.
Okay.
And she used to call me her sister. And I was very, very close with her. I was with her every day. You know, I would choose her over my friends usually to just spend time with her. But it was because I was her sister at a certain point, you know, in my, perhaps the soul.
Past lifetime.
Yes, I mean, there was a connection that was so deep there that was different than a granddaughter, grandmother, because we both enjoyed each other as equals so much that I knew there was something deeper. But now, as I learn with you, I can relate it to the fact that, you know, she didn't just call me her sister. I was her sister.
You were the spirit of her sister. Yeah.
So we just had such wonderful times together, and they were not of this world in that sense of my body being her granddaughter and her body being the grandmother. They were just our souls connecting.
Exactly, and that's what happened to many people. Like people say, well, you know what, my daughter, my son, or my mother, we feel like brother, or we feel like this, or we feel like that. We feel like completely different, and it's true because we're coming back and reincarnating in a family. Not always. I'm not saying it's always this is the rule, but it's happening a lot. And this thing that you said that you parents at the fruit, you forgot how you call it in English. Avot tachlu boser shinei banim tikena. Fathers ate the unripe fruit.
The unripe fruit.
Unripe fruit,
Yes.
and the sons, their teeth of the sons will do something.
Okay. Like they will be connected from the father's deeds to the sons.
Right. So there are other and I say it in a few times in my show because I think it's very important to understand. So let's say you are not nice to your child. Okay, you do all kind of things. Who cares? This is my way or the highway. And then one day, you know, you pass, you know, God forbid not, but you're gone, and she is her own daughter, and now you coming to be your granddaughter. Now you will have to relive the consequence of what you told her.
Yeah.
Good, bad, indifferent.
Sure.
So basically,
It's like a circle.
It's a circle.
Yeah.
So this is what happened a lot. That people come back. I mean, and it's not always because of bad things that people do, but because of connection.
Okay.
Many times a person has such a strong connection and they want to be together again. They come back again. And it was a very sad story I just read on the news maybe 2 weeks ago about child that drowned in Israel and one of the Zimmer, you know, the vacation place. And she said that it was 4 years old child, and the mother said, I hope if there is heaven, if there is another life, that he is watching us. And I'm like, of course he does. You know, but through this child, maybe there will be all kind of things happening because it was very, all kind of security points that nobody pay attention, the door will not lock properly, and all kind of things. So through this child, actually they can change things around for other kids.
For others. Yes.
You know, so, and you told me about, forgot her name, the girl that got killed.
Yes, Shoshana.
Shoshana, that you were very connected, just got killed, it's a year ago?
Over a year ago.
Over a year ago.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, right?
We did. We spoke at length. I mean, it was, you know, our first meeting, then I was sharing how, you know, there's an awareness that's going on now because I was a part of this wonderful young girl's life, and she passed, and I still feel very, very connected to her. And a lot of what I'm doing now with kids is because of all the potential I saw in her and all the beauty I saw in her, and that she was not able to fulfill that in this lifetime, I am, gaining wisdom and strength from her to give to other kids now. I think that's how I think it's going to come out in this world.
Well, the thing, and the death of every person can make impact on many people.
Yes.
The death of a child, usually it feels so much horrible, more sad, because we expect people to live full time, like 80 years, 90 years. Today, the 100 year is almost getting more and more normal. What people don't understand sometimes, that every spirit has its own time. So we hope that we all live forever, but each spirit chose the time to come. So the spirit chose it.
The spirit also chooses the time to leave.
Exactly. The spirit, with angels and guides and teachers in the spiritual world, choose where to come, how to come, to create the perfect background, to create the perfect effect of the life. So you think, well, this person was born in this poor place, was this drug addicted and become criminal and died in jail. What the point?
Right.
But for this person, this was a piece of information that he needed. This for this spirit. The spirit needed this piece.
That's hard to understand. Because of such tragic lives, and you wonder what could the soul need from that physical experience in the world, But we don't have the answers always to.
Well, this is, think about it. Okay, we talk about the 6 million Jewish guys that died. So I believe that there were spirits. They came. All the spirits were part of it. They chose to come. They knew where they're going to come. They knew that they will be part of it. It was very important part of changing the history of the whole world. It was not only the Jewish. Think about the Jewish history that the Israel became a country. We didn't have this safety net ever, for 2,000 years. I was born in Israel. I feel very brave and proud to be Jewish. But I know many Jewish people, when I came to America, they were ashamed. They will never say either they are Jewish. There are places in America still that people don't say, I am Jewish.
Right.
They don't shiver, but they are nervous. So they made the whole thing, the whole ordeal, completely changed the whole dimension. Not only the Jewish nation, the whole planet changed. Many people moved from one place to another, evolved, and etc. So the spirit, and I talked with a guy from the Holocaust just this week. I just met him this week, and I said the 6 million. There were 6 million Jewish that died. Most of them, you don't even know who they are, right? You don't know the names, you don't know what happened in their lives, but we needed the 6 million volume to make a difference for some reason. So each one of them is very important. If it will be less, it will be completely different dynamic. Today we all say 6 million. So in this 6 million, each person is present. Make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it make more, and it is. We needed this person and that person and that person.
Yeah.
We need all the other millions that survived, that they come with their story.
We do, and we need the young Jewish, kids today who are afraid to say they're Jewish because they're afraid of anti-Semitism, or, they're going to not get on the team, or, people have different opinions. And we need to empower them to be proud of who they are. And I think that the mass amounts of loss we've had as a people over millennia and over the Holocaust and in Israel today should serve for those souls that chose to be a part of that, terrifying experience, will now live through the proud Jewish people of today.
Right.
That they will stand up for being Jewish, and they will support Israel, and they will have a voice among all of those who want to come against us. They must be more powerful.
Well, what I want from them is more, is that they will bring the voice of being nice to another person and consider it all over the world. Because the thing, I saw a program about Native American. So it's called 30 Days. This show, it's like one person or another come and live 30 days with something that is completely against.
Okay.
Or it's, in question. So this one was the guy that actually is in charge of this show, and he came to live by a Native American, city, whatever. And he described it as horrible. They were so left behind. They're so in trouble. They're so poverty. The drink, the drugs, because they have no opportunities.
Okay.
So they're the ones that were here first, and they were pushed to the side. You know what I mean?
Terrifying.
So
Terrible.
The thing about it that I am Jewish and I love Israel and I care about Judaism and all, but I care about the whole planet because there's so many people on the planet. They are discriminated because of one thing or another, especially women. And we talked about women, that we both are having special thing about women.
I mean, of course, we all have to, also from the soul position, from the position of what we're born into in this world, whether we're Jewish or not Jewish, there's a soul pattern for us, something that we might more tend toward for our inspiration or guidance. And we need to be honest about that. But when you're authentic with yourself like that, then you can love other people for who they are. When you say you're doing what your purpose is and I'm doing mine. And if we can teach young people to appreciate one another in that way and respect one another for their journeys, then there will be more tolerance and love and acceptance going on in the world. When we deny our soul's pattern or path in this world, or we're angry or resentful of something, that's when we fight out against another.
Right.
So.
Well, the thing is that the Spirit goes through all the religions. The Spirit went through all of them, through all the countries. For all the years, the Spirit liked to explore and find. So we were part of all the cultures, almost. I don't know. I think so. So maybe I was Jewish in many lifetimes, but I was Christian in many lifetimes. I was Buddhist. And I had my experience. There. So we have to take it all and just love people, love each other.
Very true.
So we are very close to be done. I wanted you just to say maybe a few words about different programs that you are involved. So we will just give you information.
I appreciate it. Great. I mean, in addition to the writing and the novels that are coming out and Self-Centered, which is already available, I run an organization that's a nonprofit called Leumi Israel, Discover Your Inner Israel. And it's for all ages, and I work with organizations throughout South Florida. We lead trips to Israel for baby boomers called Boomers Israel, 55 and over. And we have amazing experiences. And through that process of before they go to Israel and after, we have a lot of spiritual and soulful evenings and Shabbat dinners and teaching and learning. I also work a lot with the 20s plus age group with the Jewish Federation.
Right.
And we're actually going to be using this beautiful center for our upcoming Happiness Hour series, which is fabulous. And it's not a happy hour. It is a happiness hour. Three series on finding inner happiness. It's for young adults in the area. We're going to be promoting it all over. It'll start in January. And Leumi Israel's Israel.com, that's our website. We have lots of programs that we offer and lots of classes. So we hope that we can be a part of your journey wherever you are.
I believe you will.
Thank you.
I think we will, and we have two rabbits for now, but I think they will see us together again.
I hope so.
We're going to do a few more shows.
I hope
it's
so. Maybe
fun.
you can do a reading on one of the shows for me.
I will do it happily.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you so much, Calypso. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for coming, and it was wonderful. I didn't even feel that I'm talking on the radio, right? We're
going to continue this after, I think. I don't think we're going to stop.
We'll never stop, right?
Good. Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
And thank you, everybody, for listening to us from Boca Soul Show.
Thanks for listening to Boca Soul, featuring Calypso. Brought to you by the Calypso Shah Spiritual Center in Boca Raton.
Emotional hoarding is a serious issue. Your body, mind, and soul need to be cleared from previous traumas in order to make room for happiness. If you are feeling lost, stuck, or confused, you could be experiencing a past life blockage that must be cleared. Calypso's intuitive abilities as a medium releases all baggage stemming from your past. Don't let another day hold you from happiness. Why haven't you called yet? Call today, 561-808-9108. Life contains all the natural elements of earth, wind, light, water, combined with the inner soul we all have. By bringing light to your past lives, you can improve and enhance your present and future. Introducing Calypso Shah, a spiritual healer who will help you overcome personal fears, addictions, and blockages by discovering the cause of them from past life traumatic events.
I am here to help you to find the origin of your problems from past lifetime that are affecting this lifetime. Do you feel like your love life is a broken record? I believe the issues lovers have in relationships are the result of past life experiences. Together we will journey into your past to bring the power of love and trust back into your present. Join me for a past life reading and discover the healing power within you. Unlock the secrets of your soul at the Calypso Shah Spiritual Center. Call us to book an appointment today at 561-808-9108.